right, everyone. I just want to take some time to walk us through our major assignments. So I'm going to click over to that page for us. So on our Moodle page, the way you would find this is if you scroll all the way down. Right under week 18, you'll see major assignment handouts. Go ahead and click on that. So here's where you would find the information regarding our assignments. If you look, we've got the podcast sign-up sheet, the American Lit podcast assignment instructions. Here you'll find information about your final, the poetry anthology, and then this is the rubric for your forum post. You scroll down underneath that, you'll find information for your midterm. And underneath that is just a reminder that if you go to the Writing Center for either your literary analysis or your poetry anthology, then you will get 10 extra credit points. So please remember to do so. The couple things I want to touch on right now is first the forum post, because y'all are going to start writing your forum post and responses. And so here you'll see that to make 100, you need to concern yourself with the relevance of the post, the quality of the post, and contributing to the learning community. And so if you'll take a gander at that and look exactly at what I'm looking for in these areas. And then the second thing is your podcast assignment instructions. So the purpose of this podcast assignment is to encourage students to explore American authors and historical context and analyze how the research enhances or emphasizes their understanding of that selected piece of literature. Through creating a podcast episode, students will enhance their critical thinking, communication, and creative skills while engaging with the assigned text. So what I want you to do is I want you to pick either an author that we study or one of the texts. It can be a story, a poem, a novel. So you can pick one of those. And I want you to explore that. So for instance, Edgar Allan Poe, he would be from American Lit 1, but an example of talking about the author is Edgar Allan Poe was actually a huge supporter of women's rights. And so you could maybe talk about that information, and whenever you study The Fall of the House of Usher, that's something you could emphasize and show how that is related to the text. Another example for the historical side of it is we are going to be reading Art Spiegelman's Maus, M-A-U-S, and that is about the Holocaust. And with that comic, you can either talk about World War II, or you could talk about the Holocaust and talk about how this text enhances the atrocities or the issues that came about because of the Holocaust. So step 1, you're going to pick your topic. And I need to fix number 2 under select a topic. Again, it could be a text or it could be an author. I want you to read the text. I want you to do your research. I want you to provide a works cited page of at least 3 sources. And then this gives you, for step 4, the structure of a podcast. And then I want you to record it. You can use anything to record it as long as it's an MP3 that you submit. However, if you need assistance with this, I suggest using the app MP3 Recorder. And that way I can help you because I have experience using that. And then you'll submit your podcast And then down here is your rubric. So your format, the main content, and delivery and technical production, and what I'm looking for in these podcasts. So this is where you'll find the rubric, and again, I'll update it so it'll say you can either pick an author or a text. So let's go back to our Moodle page. Thanks for bearing with me while I deal with the technology. Okay, podcast sign-up sheet. So you'll go to this Google Doc, and if you'll see, this is our reading schedule. I know you all have major assignments coming up in other classes, and also once this starts in week 4, you see that's Labor Day weekend. I believe I put, fall break, and whenever your midterm is due. So I try to give you a lot of options here. So you'll see, let's just look at week 4 when this starts. You have option, if you want to talk about an author, you can sign up to do a podcast, a 5 to 10 minute podcast about Jack London or Simon J. Ortiz. Those are great authors to choose from. Or you can talk about To Build a Fire or Earth and Rain, The Plants and Sun, and give us a little bit of context as far as the time period or historical information. You only have to sign up for one, so let's say you sign up for Jack London. You don't have to talk about To Build a Fire. You can just talk about Jack London. So if you look at this, these are when these are due. So if you are going to talk about The Swimmer by John Cheever, which is under week 5, if you look at this, it's due September 10th, which is the Sunday before week 5 starts. Week 5 starts on September 11th, so I would need these submitted by September 10th at 11:59 p.m. That way on Monday morning, I can post these at 7 o'clock whenever I get into my office, and it'll be available for everybody. And I know it looks like a lot, but it's really not. It's just that I divided the authors and the text, so, you didn't have to worry about trying to talk about the author and the story. And again, it's first come, first serve. You just sign up for whichever one you want to do and whatever fits your schedule. And I will put a submission link for that. And then let's go back to the major assignment handouts. So depending on when you sign up, that could be the first thing that is due. In a couple of weeks, we will be reading August Wilson's Fences. You'll be watching that and reading it. What I want you to do is compose a 5 to 6 page character analysis, and you'll be analyzing the character scenes for tone, imagery, dialogue, theme, symbolism, irony, or foreshadowing. You don't have to use all of these. I would choose at least 3 of these literary elements. And you're going to create a thesis, draw original conclusion based on what you learned about the character through the literary elements in the scenes. And this goes step by step through this process, exactly how I want you to organize it. I try to make it very clear. I don't want there to be any surprises. And this is how I'm going to grade you. And again, look, here, one of the literary elements and then the other one. So let's say you use tone, imagery, and dialogue. There you go. Those are the literary elements you have, and you only have to choose 3. You're welcome to do more. Now, you might be asking yourself, why am I assigning this at midterm instead of the final? This is actually to help y'all, because if it's at the end of the semester and you turn it in, then there's no chance to redo it. Maybe this is your first literary analysis. I want y'all to have the time. If you do it at midterm and you don't do well, I will work with you to help improve your grade. So I hope that sounds good. It's a little bit more work in the middle of the semester, but again, it gives you that opportunity where if you don't do as well, you don't earn the grade that you wanted to, then I can give you some feedback and you can work on it and you can resubmit it. And I feel hard work is more important to me than getting it the first time. I'm not grading you on how fast you can get something. I'm grading you on how hard you work and how well you eventually understand the material. So please read over this, and if you have any questions for me, I'm happy to answer them. I'm going to go back to the page again, and then we are going to talk about our final. I'll scroll up right here. So this is going to be a poetry anthology. Basically the Norton anthology, that is what an anthology is. They have taken a bunch of text and they have said, what do we feel like students need to learn? And they have chosen those texts and put them in an anthology. I want you to create your own anthology. Now, don't worry, it's not going to be 3 volumes of American literature. All I'm wanting you to do is choose 6 poems from the sources below. They should be ones that I have not covered in class. I want you to create a cover page that includes the name and title of your anthology and with a table of contents. And feel free to stylize your cover however you want. Canva is a great tool if you've never used it before. So I want you to type these 6 poems, respond to each one specifically, organize them in any order you choose. You can include pictures or decorations to personalize your anthology of favorite poems. And I want you to submit this as a PDF, but you can make a hard copy if you want. And right here, I need to change that. That used to say 10, but it needs to say 6. I'll fix that so it's more clear. So these are the sources you can get for your anthology. The Norton Anthology of American Literature, which we've been using, it just needs to be in the time periods that we've been studying. So 1865 to present. You can use the Poetry Foundation, just make sure they are American poets. Other reputable anthologies, and again, I know there are a lot of budding poets out there, but please try to rely on published and juried poetry for this assignment. And this gives you some more information. You can choose 6, but up to 10 poems. And you can include the author, complete title, date of publication, and the date of composition. And then you're going to include a paragraph of response or explanation. So I want to know, why did you choose this poem? What makes it interesting and worthwhile? A couple of examples of the kind of paragraphs I would like to see are included on page 3-4. You can interpret the line breaks, connect the poem to a literary theme we've discussed this semester, connect the poem to another course, explain a key literary element of the poem. And again, these are just options. These are 5 strategies that I would like you to choose from. So, but there's more than 5 here. Explain the historical or cultural context. Explicate a very short poem line by line. Explain the meaning of the title. Explain the theme of the poem. Or explain how this poem speaks to you. So you have some options here. And let's see, let's scroll down here. So for your anthology, you'll need a preface or a prologue, an epilogue, and down here, these are some great examples. So I'll let you look through those. Again, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask me. I know this is a general overview, but I just wanted to show you what is ahead for our class. I think it's very important that you know what's ahead. The due dates are very clear. The finals at the end of the semester. The American Lit sign-up sheet has when your podcast is due, so please don't forget to sign up for that. Again, first come, first serve. You have the podcast instructions and your midterm instructions. All right. Well, I hope this was helpful. Again, if you have any questions, please let me know.